This is LeBron James, and as of the recording of this video, he recently surpassed Wilt Chamberlain on the all-time scoring list.
Move over, Wilt! Make room for LeBron!
He currently has 31,425 points, which means he's just under 7,000 points away from tying or breaking the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record. So the question is, can LeBron do it? Can he score the 7,000 points necessary to break a long-standing record that has often been seen as unbreakable? Well, after doing the math, the conclusion I have come to is this. LeBron surpassing Kareem's scoring record is not only possible, but I'd say inevitable, unless one of three things happens, which I'll get into later, but first let me show you the math. As of the recording of this video, LeBron has 31,425 career points, 14 games into the season, and is averaging 27.6 points per game. For the sake of lowballing LeBron's totals, let's assume he only averages 25 points per game the rest of the season, and only plays 56 more games for a total of 70 games this season. That would give him a total of 32,825 points. On a side note, he would also surpass Michael Jordan during this season. He will in fact surpass Jordan in about 30 to 35 games from now. Kareem scored 38,387 points, so LeBron at this point would be 5,562 points away from Kareem's record by the end of the season in my hypothetical scenario. If LeBron plays 4 more seasons after this one, and again, for the sake of lowballing his totals, let's just assume he only plays 70 games in each of those seasons, and only averages 25 points per game during that 4-year stretch, he would score exactly 7,000 points. Now, some of you may say that it's unrealistic to expect LeBron to average 25 points per game until he's 38, which may be true, but keep in mind a few things. 1. I lowballed how many points LeBron would score for the rest of this season. He's averaging almost 28 and I knocked it down to 25. 2. I also lowballed how many games he'll play in this season and each of the following seasons. 3. LeBron doesn't have to score 25 points per game in each season. He just has to average 25 for the overall 4-year stretch. For example, if LeBron averages 27 in the first year, 25 in the next 2, and 23 in the last year, that would still give him an overall average of 25 points per game during this hypothetical 4-year stretch. And it's not unrealistic to think LeBron can average 23 when he's 38. Kareem and Karl Malone both averaged that much when they were that old. And 4, I said earlier that after this season, LeBron would need 5,562 points to surpass Kareem. He scores 7,000 in my hypothetical 4-year run, so he doesn't even have to average 25 to surpass Kareem's record. So yeah, after doing the math, to me it seems pretty inevitable that LeBron will break Kareem's record, unless one of 3 things happen. 1. He gets injured. LeBron has been possibly the most durable athlete in the history of the NBA, so he's not as susceptible to injuries as other players, but he is getting older and freak accidents do happen, and an Achilles tear could happen, or maybe something crazy happens to him like what happened to Gordon Hayward. Although, given LeBron's history, if he twisted his ankle like that, he probably would just go back to the locker room, snap it back into place, return to the game, and play 40 minutes. Now, the other grim possibility is that, he dies, which is a pretty dark scenario, but could happen. Anybody can die at any time. Anyways, to summarize, I would say LeBron becoming the NBA's all-time leading scorer is most likely going to happen, unless something tragic occurs. Now, we know that LeBron can surpass Kareem's scoring record. But can Kevin Durant surpass Kareem? I don't know about that one. The thing with KD is that even though he used to be a fairly durable player, he has been pretty injury prone the last couple of seasons. In 2014-15, he only played 27 games. In his first season with the Warriors, he missed 20 games. And last season, he missed 14 games. And another thing with KD is that depending on what team he goes to during free agency, that could affect his scoring average. During his peak OKC years, he was averaging about 29 to 30 points per game. But on the Warriors, he's only averaged from 25 to 27 points per game. So if KD goes to a team like the Knicks, his scoring average could go up again. But if he stays with the Warriors or goes to like another stacked team like the Sixers, he would only be averaging 25 to 27. So I don't know what he's gonna do with his career. So it's hard to predict. If we assume he only plays 65 games a season the rest of his career on average, and averages about 25 points per game, then he would need to play 10 more seasons until he's 40 to break Kareem's scoring record, or I guess by that point it would be LeBron's record, and he would just be simply surpassing Kareem for number 2. But Kevin Durant did say that he only wants to play until he's 35. He later recanted that statement, but the fact that he said that tells you where his mind is at. Since I lowballed his points per game and games played per season in that prediction, it definitely is possible for KD to surpass Kareem without playing 10 more seasons, but he would probably need to play past... Actually, no. He would definitely need to play past 35 in order to do it. Now, before I go, there is one more thing I would like to say. In the predictions I made about LeBron, I only assumed he'd be playing 70 games per season. If we increase that to 75 games per season, not only would he surpass Kareem's scoring record, he would score 40,000 points. That is insane. Scoring 30,000 is considered a huge milestone. He would have 10,000 more than that. And he would do it by age 38. Kareem played until he was 41. And played in a faster paced era as well. Anyways, that's the video.